Well, hello, hola, bonjour, hey. Hey, y'all, my name is Merc. Welcome back to the Narc Alert. I was trying to get the cat to come here and look at the people. Look, there. There he is. There's Rio. He's here too. Happy hump day, everybody. Hey, it's the middle of the damn week. Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. I'm wearing sympathy bone colors, Ella. I don't know. I just was wearing this t-shirt and I wanted to throw on a hoodie. And honestly, this is stupid. I like that black hoodie. I wear it all the time, but the black against the black chair, it just doesn't look right, you know? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Look how many of you are here. I guess you're anxious to hear about the exciting. Wow, it was so off the chart. It was great. It wasn't. I'm sorry to tell you. It really wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, there's always something interesting there. Hang on, I have a Ricola. And I know somebody will complain, so I have to. You know, there's always something a little interesting there because what I found interesting is she was pissy. Hey, Alyssa is awake. Oh my God, Alyssa's awake and she's gifting a Narc Alert membership. Thank you, Alyssa, for gifting a member and for being awake today. No, it was my Ricola. I got rid of it. We'll be okay. We'll be good. Pateau. Oh, Pateau. Oh, okay, listen. I'll get to that. Pateau says, like the stream, you lovely alerts. Thank you very much. Before we get into it, before I forget, let me say, hey, Alice P. Rabbit was first today and followed by Skier Doc, who's been hang on. Skier Doc has been diagnosed with ASMR. Unsure if they can stay for the whole stream because they are afflicted with ASMR. Also, Vanessa Atalanta is here. So thank you, Vanessa. And Skier and Alice. And Pateau, by the way, Pateau who's saying like the stream, you know, look at Pateau can say that because Pateau is sitting in the freaking Turks Caicos right now, chillaxing on a fantastic vacation. I'm sure it's really well earned. I hope you're having a great time, Pateau. And I haven't checked the travel thread, but I know Pateau's usually good about posting pictures. That's the only notes I have until all the big notes. So yeah, she was uniquely pissed off last night. And it was funny because I seriously think it was something from, I think it was really just as little as the chat disagreeing with her. And I think that pissed her off. And I think that was it. I really feel like that was it. Because she started okay. So there was nothing underlying, because she's not as we know, she's not a very good actor. She started okay. And then once the chat started disagreeing with her on some stuff, she got real pissy real fast. Like, it was like a child tantrum. It was like she got all withdrawn and she wasn't going to attack. And then she just wanted to play cheat. Like, it was weird. So Rio's going to loaf around here. By the way, Heather's not here because we're really screwing the Aussies with this time zone change, time change. So sorry, I guess, but you know, Heather, one of our delicious Aussies, gave me some advice on how to change the camera. And I'm not a big dumb boomer. The setting is something that was in the photo settings, which I wasn't looking at because this is video. So I tried it and it seemed to work and I thought that's great. And then all of a sudden it started autofocusing again. I didn't have time to frig around with it. So I put it to the back facing camera and that seems to be working. Now, of course, as soon as I did that, he moved because, you know, cat, it's their job to do that. Vanessa says, hi, Heather, if you're watching later. Heather probably will check in later or, you know, wake up early and give us shit for streaming at the wrong time. Heather's busy watching Skeleton Key and will join us later. Everybody's saying hi to Heather in the future. Heather, well, hopefully, assuming the chat will remain, which it does. You know, if you make one small edit in YouTube Studio, it deletes your whole chat. But we haven't had to do that in a long time. Val says Merc discovered she can flip-flop her phone to film. It's not Val, I almost listen. I just upgraded my phone, and I almost got one of those flip phones that has the whole screen. They're really neat, but I feel like it would rip. Like, it's so thin. I don't feel comfortable. Do any of you guys have that fancy phone? Hey, Paka, 23 members. Paka's absolutely not at work right now. You can use this as evidence in court. Paka's not at work. Paka's just somewhere wishing us happy 23 months to you too, Paka. Almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Oh yeah, that's the other thing Amber does a lot, is sing when she blocks people. It's really weirdly condescending. Really weirdly condescending. Hey, listen, I don't got much to tell you today. Why don't we just get right back into it? Back into it? I don't think we were into it. Beth says I've seen some of those phones after usage and they get as damaged as you'd expect. I figured the technology's too new. You know, you got to wait a little bit till they really perfect that. Oh, there's a lot of people not at work. I do love it when you get paid for watching. That's fantastic. I wish I could pay everybody for watching. Imagine the subscribers we'd have then. Hey, Adam. Adam has 8 months in Lava Land. Thanks for being here, Adam. Happy 8 months. All right, I've got a coffee. The cat is loafing. Dr. Lenny's here on her lunch break. Fluffy's repping for the Motorola's. I'm stuck on the Google Pixels. I love the Pixel phone. Listen, I used to, my last job that I worked at was at, like the last, real job, hard job. I worked at Casey House, which is an AIDS hospital in Toronto. And I'd cook on the night shift. Thank you, Jess, for your super chat. Jess says, wish me luck. Tristan's going to his first prom on Saturday. Oh, Jess, can you post pictures for us in the mod chat? That's so cute. Talia's also definitely not at work. First prom. Do you guys remember your first prom? I had the same boyfriend all through high school. So we went to a couple of proms, but we were like old married couple by the end there. So the prom wasn't as big a deal, but oh God, what's more exciting than your first prom, right? Lenny hated them. I mean, yeah, a lot of people have horrible prom memories. A lot of people didn't go, or they went and it was terrible, or you feel like as bad as you've ever felt as a teenager at prom. But I had the same boyfriend for all through high school, so it was kind of easy for me. I didn't have any of those jitters about being asked or any of that stuff. So do they even still have prom? We called it a formal. We didn't call it a prom. We had the junior formal and the senior formal. So the junior formal, the 9s and 10s would go, and the senior was 11 to 13. At that time, we had grade 13. Now it's back to 12. I don't remember the dress I wore. I certainly wore a dress one year. But the one year I do remember, I wore a black tux with tails, and my boyfriend wore a white tux with tails. Oh, it was very controversial. We were so outside the box. CH says there's a winter formal for all the high school, and the prom is for the juniors and seniors, unless you're a date. Oh, okay. Yeah, unless you're a date. Like I was a junior, my boyfriend was a senior, so I could bring him to my prom, and he could bring me to his prom. But the thing is, if you were dating a senior, you weren't going to go to the junior prom. Please, I'm dating a senior. I am way cooler than that. Harper says, do you remember when you got your shoes dyed? I never did that, but I do recall that. Putin's going to a meeting. Listen, leave the planet as it is, okay, Mr. Putin? Thank you very much for being here. See you on the replay. Anyway, let's get to Amber. Let's get to Ms. AMBERLYNN Reid, because, I thought I didn't have many notes, and I have just as many as last time, and I don't know why, because I literally zoned out for a good hour and a half of this. A good over an hour of it, she played choosy. But as far as I've been told by AMBERLYNN, in the few times that she's shown us how to play choosy, she wasn't even playing choosy correctly. She didn't play it right. It's weird. It's like she didn't remember how to play the game that she's been defending. Rainbow Road says, wasn't she blocking people for refusing to play along with her? I think she was blocking people who... she was getting pissy when people weren't giving the answer that she wanted. Like if you chose something different than the choosy that she wanted you to pick, that was pissing her off. Yeah, there's no stills this time. Because it's what stills? It's just her sitting on a couch. I mean, if you really like them, I'll do them next time for sure. But we actually we did have a problem downloading the video. Like we usually download the video and grab stills from it post live. And there was some issue with downloading it. So we don't have them, but I'll do them next week. It is nice to have something to look at, but like you could look at him. You don't have to look at me, but you could look at him. The clip, though. Okay, what I do have for you is I have screen caps of comments. Members' comments from the comment section. And that is pretty good, too. And I think you'll enjoy that. So without any further ado, let's look at AMBERLYNN's live members-only stream from April 22nd. She starts out the beginning with, she only wants positivity in her chat. She doesn't want any negativity. And she starts out with, of course, hello, romper, stomper, bomper, boo. I see Dr. Lenny. I see Polly. I see Lucy. I see Coco. I see Penne. You know how she does. She says hello to everybody. I guess that's nice. Sorry, I'm an asshole. I don't personally say hello to each and every one of you, but she does. She's better streamer than us, I guess. Then I just wrote this down because it was just weirdly random the way she's so disingenuous in the way she speaks. Now, this is inconsequential and random, but there was a weird... Somebody in the chat named Alice, or I don't know why I wrote ALLUS, because that's not how I write. I don't know. Somebody in the chat, let's call her Alice. So Alice said, my parrot died today. And AMBERLYNN, this response I just thought was odd. She said, oh my God, I didn't even know you had a parrot. And I thought, why would you know she had a parrot? It's just like weird, right? It was just a weird response. No, he's gone for a snack. He's gone for a snack. The beginning is a lot of fast small talk, which is pretty much boring. So I didn't write down a whole lot of it. She does mention that people are talking about going to see a concert, and she's all wants to go see the concert, and talks about how if she was still in Wisconsin, she would be definitely going to that concert in Milwaukee. And oh yeah, she went to Milwaukee quite a few times when she was in Wisconsin. She was there like all the time, just zipping in and out of the city, Oh, it was Trisha. She wants to go see Trisha Paytas. Yeah, there was no, I'm sorry, Ella. It was just, oh my God, I didn't even know you had a parrot. I thought, why the fuck would you know? It's not even one of the people she talked. Like, there are some users, some members that she's kind of gotten to know a little bit, I guess, because, they're in there. There's the Sodies. There's a lesbian couple, Lime and Orange Sodi. And there's another one called Window. There's a few reoccurring characters. But that was not one of them. So it was really out of the air. Yeah, she wants to see Trisha. She talked about, zipping in and out of Milwaukee all the time, urban girl on the go, Sex in the City and all that. And then she says, we can play choosy. We can. And I wrote, look, woohoo. Woohoo, we get to play choosy, you guys. And then I wrote, she's benevolent. Skip. Oh, some people are saying, hey, I don't know about this choosy thing. And then she gets a little insulted and she says, listen, I do it with YouTubers all the time. There'll be a segment they do that I don't like, so I'll skip it and come back. So if you don't want to play choosy, you can just feel free to skip it. You don't have to stay here. And then people, it's funny because isn't that interesting? I wrote she's benevolent. They didn't say that. That's my word. But then later on in the chat, they were all saying Amber for Pope because the Pope passed away on Easter. So they were saying she should be the next Pope. And they were saying Pope Lynn, I guess because she's so benevolent. It's like they knew I wrote that word down. Weird, right? Pope Lynn. And then she goes, oh, yeah, the Pope died. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Pope. Rest in peace. That language is annoying. That at the end of every word. I don't know why she's talking like this. So she says how we're going to play choosy is that she's got a list of 30 celebrities, and we're going to play choosy with her list of 30 random celebrities. Rio, we need you. We're talking choosy, babe. Come on. Can you come up here? I'll bribe you with treats. If you come up here, you might get a treat. They ask her to play Fuck, Marry, Kill, and she says no, she can't do that because she doesn't like to say kill people. She's too sensitive, guys. That bothers her. Sorry about the crackling noise. Oops, I dropped one. There you go. Come up here, Bo. Here, let's move you closer. You know the people like to watch you eat. Because you're not Amber. Come on up. Here. Where can I do it? Here. There. Then she tells us that she's very under the weather. She's got bad energy. Her energy is low tonight. She's not feeling well. You are amazingly special. I love you. And the reason, she says she'll be talking about it more on her weigh-in vlog, which we're going to cover next. Perfect timing. She hates to admit it. She's going to get picked on, but the reason she doesn't feel well tonight, guys, is she's got cellulitis. Yes, by flood, Jen. She's got cellulitis, you guys. It's so embarrassing. It's really embarrassing, all right? But then she tells us that there's two versions of cellulitis. One where you get the infection, but you get also very physically ill, like, I guess, I don't know if you vomit, but, there's a lot of other physical symptoms. And then another version where you just get the infection in the area. And that's the one she has, just the infection in the area, guys. So it's not even that bad. It's like cellulitis light, really. It's barely cellulitis. It's cellulite. And then she says, she's got the aldemas, so it happens. You get it. It's not that. Her lymph system isn't flushing. I know you're not doctors, and I wrote this down as a quotation because I didn't want to, screw up her words. She has a certain, in another life, she would have been a doctor. Let's be real. So, I can't, as a lay person, I can't take credit for this, but those of you gens here, some people have some medical knowledge. You will understand. Jen, her lymph system isn't flowing. Makes sense, right? You get it? And now this could be actually deadly, but she's all over it. She's all over it. She knows before it happens. So she's all over it. Often you need sterilization. Freudian slip. Often you need hospitalization for this for up to 2 weeks, but she did not need this. of course, because she was all over it, okay? She's all over it. Then she says she's kind of behind on things with the vlogging and stuff because she's been sick. So she apologizes that she's not uppity. I'm not uppity. I don't think she understands what the word uppity means. But she wasn't uppity. I'm like, actually, bitch, you kind of are uppity. But, pop off. Randomly, someone says to her, what do you think about those astronauts that were trapped in space for all that time and just recently returned to Earth? And she goes, no comment. I don't think she knew about the story. He's going to start this now. He's going to start yelling for the next 30 minutes, so strap in. Welcome to my world. Oh, he's so cute. No, he's annoying. In a cute way. She says, I guess somebody called her smug, and she says it's amazing how she's called smug all the time. She doesn't even know what smug means. And in real life, nobody calls her smug. Why? Like, it's just weird for her. They asked her favorite Black Mirror episode this season, and she said she just loved the gaslighting episode. Loved the gaslighting episode. I wasn't sure which episode she meant, to be honest. We just watched the season. I don't recall one episode that I would frame as a gaslighting episode. And she loved it because she could relate to it. It was like her own life, except she didn't like the ending. Then I wrote down Lego chat. Oh, moon landing super chat. All right, here we go. Boom. Let's make this big so you can see it too. So she gets this super chat. Says, love you. My grandpa Tom Dolan was an engineer with NASA. You can Google him. And the lunar lander was his idea. We definitely went to the moon. And she says something about how I think she said it was adorable. But she basically said, yeah, no, that didn't. She said, I'm sorry. I just don't believe you or him. I just don't believe you or him. His grandfather was a fucking engineer with NASA. No, because in another life she could have been a doctor because she feels it in her soul. So she understands sciences in a way that the normal humans can't. So this man with his fucking decades of education and experience in this field that she knows nothing about. Clearly he was just, that he made that up. I couldn't believe, like, how fucking are you? Now that set some people off. The super chat started coming in. Okay. Can I get the next one here? Yes. So the next one, super chat comes in. Oh, this is working well. I'm so happy. From Olivia, who says, I'm a moon landing skeptic, but I believe the moon landing happened before I believe you were part of the space dance team who won a bunch of awards for choreography. And she says everybody who's mean to her has personal issues. Like, she feels really sorry for people who are mean to her because clearly there's something missing in your life that you feel you have to be this mean all the time. Like, it's so stupid, bitch. Sometimes people are just cunty. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong in their lives. They just want to be cunty to you. It's, you bring out the best in people. What can I say? She also mentions that she believes in aliens. She believes in aliens, but not the moon. And she really wishes her daddy was around because daddy could confirm the space stuff. Because her dad was around when she did all the space dancing. Daddy could confirm it. I know I told you, he's not going to shut up and I can't do anything about it. We just got to roll with it. Someone in the chat says they just got their master's in neuroscience. Now, why somebody that fucking has a degree in neuroscience watches AMBERLYNN REID is beyond me. and pays $10 for a membership. But this person said they have a degree in neuroscience. And she says, neuroscience? Oh, wow, that sounds fun. And I'm thinking, Amber, can you define what neuroscience is? We know she doesn't even know what that means, right? I mean, not that I do. I think it would be the science of the brain, maybe? Brain function and brain nerve systems, I'm guessing, but I don't even know. So I know that she doesn't know what neuroscience is. So for her response to me that it sounded fun. Oh my God, neuroscience? That sounds fun. And then she goes, well, no, actually, the Space Dance Troupe, she still talks to those people today. She still talks to people from the troupe today. They're close, guys. You don't understand. When you are a choreographer, you work with your people in a way that just bonds you. So then even decades later, they still come to you. It's a friendship it's something we wouldn't understand. Science of the brain. Thank you, Kelly. I was struggling for a more efficient way to put it, but yeah, that's kind of. Matt V, thank you for the actual definition here, Matt V says, let's put this up so we can read it. Matt V says, neuroscience, such as neurochemistry, experimental psychology, which deal with the structure or function of the nervous system in the brain. Hey, I got it right. I'm not as dumb as I thought. All right. But we know that Amber doesn't know what neuroscience is, but it sounds fun. I wrote down her hair post-hysterectomy. I don't know. We've heard that story 10,000 times. Can you hear him? Now he's digging in the box. Unlike Amber, I won't point the should I point the camera at the ceiling and go scoop the litter box just for fun? No, it's not fun. Scooping the litter box isn't really that much fun. It does make me feel alive, though. We'll see. She talks about how she supports Shane Dawson. She loves Shane. Listen, she's a big believer in second chances, and people can change. Okay, people can change. And, humor back then wasn't the same as it is now, okay? Listen, 8 years ago, people didn't understand that blackface was offensive. She's so dumb. 8 years ago, we didn't understand that blackface and racism was offensive. It was ages ago, okay, guys? It was like 2018. That's like a lifetime ago. Nobody knew. Nobody understood then. It was okay. The hard R, blackface, all that shit, that was all fine then. It was 8 years ago. It was ages ago. Fucking idiot she is. Thank you, Penne Pasta. All of her theories were from Shane's old videos. You are right. Oh, that's a good one. You're right, aren't you? Listen, don't mess with Penne. Penne's on the ball. Yeah, he has a kid now. Or do they have twins? I don't know. I stopped. Apparently, he's still around, and she still follows all his vlogs and videos because he's changed. He's so much better now. Let me get this. This Fox character was pissed off about the space stuff. Started super chat a lot. Says, there is so much proof that we went to the moon. And she says, thank you for the super chat. There is so much proof we went to the moon. Yes, there's also a lot of proof that we didn't. And that's what makes science fun. What? That's what makes science fun. Thank you, Racy, for your member of 31 months. Jeez, Racy, we've been through it. Amber is connected to the universe. She knows stuff, guys. She's connected deeply in a way that we don't understand. We're just peasants. We don't understand, right? What's the next one? Fox gets quite upset about that response. Says, what do you mean that there's proof that we didn't go to the moon? This person was ticked off, man. And at that point, she says, she's not debating the moon, you guys. It's just got to stop. It's got to stop here. She's not debating the moon. Katy Perry never went, and that's final. And then another person says, note too, this is all not just one or two people. This is different usernames all the time. Her members are not happy. It's not just one disgruntled person. Blink says, she's always mad at us. She was getting real snippy about this because people were not agreeing with her about the moon. Guys, I mean, that's what makes it fun, apparently, but it wasn't that much fun for her last night. This one came in. Girl, you make a lot of assumptions about people. Have you noticed that? I think that's when she went on to say, oh, Christ, it gets worse. God, I forgot this stuff. I don't know why this person said that, but notice again, another username. That's the thing to note here. She's literally sitting like this, talking like this with her hair. And she says, oh my God, I can't stop touching my hair because it's so soft, you guys. It just feels so good. I can't stop touching it. Isn't that? And then she carries on about how she's, she's taken such good care of her hair. I know. She's taken such good care of her hair, and that's why it feels so friggin' good right now. And I thought, girl, you're using Pantene, which is going to make your hair feel great. Excuse me, please. Pantene is going to make your hair feel great because it coats the hair shaft with, I think, like a waxy kind of stuff. So it feels good, but it's not doing any good for your hair. And if you want to actually treat your hair, you can't because it's coated with friggin' wax. So yeah, it feels good, but it's not healthy, and it's not because you just did anything special. Somebody asks her about what it is about the sun. She says, you mentioned once about something about the sun, conspiracies about the sun. Hang on, this coffee is really good. Look, let's hold it this way. Oh, look. Shameless merch plug. Someone asked her about the sun. Because one time she said she did believe in the sun, but she said what we've been told about the sun isn't necessarily true. And I've always wondered what it was that she was implicating, because she didn't say what it was. She just said what we've been told wasn't true. So here, we finally got the answer. She said the sun is actually a lot closer than we've been told. The sun is way closer than they tell you. They are fucking us up, guys. I am unsure who they are, but they're not doing us any favors, guys. The sun is so much closer. Yeah, why? I'm not sure why, but apparently it is. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you not do that? I love you. You're handsome. Bobo, can you maybe not do that? Hello? 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 Riri. Sorry, he's driving me nuts. He's on the desk. Okay, then this part, I don't know. This part set me off really bad, and I don't know why. Thank you, Penne, for the super chat. Penne says she asked her dollar store oracle cards. She is an astronomer and an astrologer and an astronaut. She's many. She wears many hats. She wears a lot of hats. Okay, this part set me off. Are you ready? They asked her if she believed in Helen Keller. Do you believe that Helen Keller really existed? You know what her answer was, right? Well, guys, she did exist, but she didn't do the things. She didn't do the things that you think she did. She existed, but, greatly exaggerated. She didn't do the thing. She didn't do that much. Are you fucking kidding? I wrote in big... I don't know where this came from, but I was getting angry when I start writing in capitals, and I wrote, "Why are you so dumb about space?" I don't know. She must have gone on a speech about space that really, really pissed me off. And I'm sorry I didn't write down the details, but I just wrote in all capitals, "Why are you so dumb about space?" The Helen Keller thing I know was big on TikTok a while ago. Like maybe a couple of years ago, where all the youngins were saying Helen Keller wasn't real. Like, stupid. There's film. Like, I can't even argue with that stupidity. But remember, she's arguing with somebody whose father was a NASA engineer about the moon landing. So this is the level of, intelligence that's going into these arguments. People started really getting at her about the space thing, I think, and that's why I wrote, "Why are you so dumb about space?" And she starts getting pissed off. This is when she's starting to get pissy, okay? Because people are asking her all kinds of questions about shit, and she doesn't like it. They're pissed off about space. They're not just going along with her and thinking she's cute and quirky. So she's starting to get really fucking pissy, and you can see it, literally see it happening. And then she's looking around for things, and she says, "Oh, I just need something to fidget with." So she grabs a fucking tripod. That's the thumbnail I used. And starts kind of chewing on the end of it. I'm like, use the tripod. You are filming. What in the fuck, girl? Why is the tripod hanging around when you're filming? I don't understand. But you could tell she was getting pissy. She's getting really pissy. And then she shut right down, and she gets on her phone. Gets on her phone. And then they start talking about her bingo buddy. I wrote bingo buddy chat. I guess I wasn't that invested in the story. I think she said her bingo buddy is the same age as her, but has like a couple of kids and is straight. So, no, she wasn't drinking. Elegant Mind asks if she was drinking. She was not drinking. She was just pissy. She doesn't feel well. She's not drinking. She's sick, remember? She's got the cellulitis. Well, cellulite. It's just like half a cellulitis. Cellulitis light, because she's all over it. It's going to be gone in a minute. Doesn't matter. We didn't talk about how she got it yet, though. Did we? No. No, we didn't talk. That's my favorite part. Back to Helen Keller. What the hell? I can't read my own writing, you guys. Oh, it says voice. Oh, yeah. People were coming at her about Helen Keller, so she started using her condescending voice. I literally said, when she does that, "Oh my God, that's not what I said." Like, she's getting real fucking pissy with her audience. So she keeps trying to change the topic. She's trying to keep it moving, but she can't. She's pissed off. She starts talking about, I guess somebody asked her about therapy. And I love this. They asked her about her therapy workbook. Remember, she was going to show us her workbook that she was doing? Remember the 2 books she got? She's going to show us her progress in the workbook. She said no, she had to stop doing the workbook because her therapist told her not to do it. Her therapist said, "Don't do another thing that's going to conflict with what we're doing here." And I thought, wait a second now. Didn't you tell us that the therapist told you to buy those 2 books? I'm pretty sure that's what she said. I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure she said the therapist told her to go buy those 2 books. Now we know she was flipping around Amazon. She put BPD in the search engine and she found these books, and that's what she's doing. Her therapist told her, put the friggin' book, don't do that. That's conflicting with what we're doing in your appointments. I don't want you doing that book. The therapist never told her to get the book. She said the therapist recommended them, didn't she? Nope. Nope. Last night she changed horses on that. I guess somebody was picking on the sodies. You know, I said there's 2 sodies. Oh, Ophelia, thank you for your super chat. Ophelia says, I don't know what to say other than Amber's dumb and Rio is a cutie. He is, isn't he? I just love him so much today. Do you ever have some days where you just love them more than other days? When you think you can't love them anymore? I don't know. I just love them today. Don't harass the sodies. Oh, yeah, I guess some people were picking on the sodies. Remember I told you there's lime sody and there's orange sody, lesbian couple that she loves. I don't know why she doesn't think it's Erica and Brittany, because I do, but okay. It would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? They're married, and they're a couple that hangs in their live streams. And she really likes them. Like, they're her comrades in arms. So she says, if anybody harasses the sodies, she will block them. And that's on period. Her funky cool Medina, funky hot Medina expression of the night was, that's on period. Isn't that supposed to be like on God or something? I'm old, so I'm not up with all the kids' lingo, but I think it's on God. I don't think that's on period. I mean, that's on point. I mean, maybe there's maybe it's a new expression that I don't know. Is that's on period an expression? That's on period is a normal phrase? Rat, are you serious? No way. It is. Snork says yes. Rat says yeah. I trust you guys. I don't know. At least I'm smart enough to admit I don't know. That's on period. Okay. All right. I'm just late on that one. Okay. I'm just sorry. I'm reading what all you guys are saying. Maybe it's new-ish, because I know there's a lot of people, not just old fucks like me, that don't seem to know it. Ratbat is just so fucking cool. You know, we're lucky enough to have somebody cool enough to know all the lingo. Carol, thank you for gifting 5 members. That's really kind of you, Carol. Thank you. Hang on. Ella, why would you send me a clip with that fucking thumbnail, though? Ella sent me a clip, which is probably a fantastic source of something that we're talking about right now, but quite frankly, I'm afraid to click on it. I know it's Amber's thumbnail, Ella. I know you didn't pick it. It's Amber holding her panties up. Urban Dictionary has on period listed as of 2019. Damn. Frig. I'm old. That's my excuse. I can use that as an excuse. I'm old. You're not. What's your excuse? Anyway, she said that. She used that a lot. Absolutely correctly. Because Amber's cool and I'm just old, so I don't know. What do I know? And then we get this member chat. She starts talking about playing choosy, and not Kevin comes in with, are you going to get salty when we don't choose your favorite? Which, quite frankly, is pretty much exactly what happened. She was getting really pissed off when Billie Eilish didn't win. It's about the BPD books, Ella says. Thank you, Ella. Okay, we'll have a look at it. Ella, you're the best. How can I? Why can't I? Stop sharing. Share screen. Boom. 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 All right. This is about the therapy books. Thank you so much, Ella.
So by a therapist, I was actually suggested these books, which is really weird to me because this has been highly suggested from quite a few of you who have BPD. So this has been in my wish list on Amazon for I can't even tell you how long. It is the Borderline Personality Disorder Workbook by Daniel J. Freaking Day. So by a therapist, I was actually suggested these books.
There you go. By a therapist, she was actually suggested those books. Were you though, Amber? Were you though? I'm telling you, if her lips are moving, she's lying. That was by a bunch of you. Yeah, sure, Amber. Sure. It wasn't a therapist. It was in your wish list. That's all. Okay, so she says, it's time for Celebrity Choosy, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Okay, she doesn't say it that way, but that's what she meant. If you don't like it, she can leave. If you don't like it, she'll block you. Like, God, she just made it like so much fun. I couldn't wait to play because she was in a pissy ass mood and she was giving us all these rules. She said, well, we can play Celebrity Choosy or I'll just quit early because I don't feel good. And then she said, okay, well, if you don't like it, I'll block you. And then if you don't like it, you can just leave because I can't please everybody. And I thought, ooh, this sounds like fun. I can't wait to play games with you. How much you're fun. And then the chat starts saying, girl, what's wrong with you? And she said, I'm not talking about it. I'm trying to learn how to regulate my emotions. And this is one of those moments. So I'm just not going to talk about it. Thank you, Jace. Then she starts to play Choosy. So she does this by putting up two celebrities. I can't recall who. It's not important. Random celebrities. And she does a poll. She uses the pollment feature of YouTube. And she puts two celebrities' names up and you have to pick one. Okay? Now, those of you who have been along this journey understand we know how to play Choosy. You put two things up. One is the winner, and it remains against a new challenger. And maybe the new challenger wins, and then it remains. And it's replaced. Right? No. No, that's not how she plays now. Now she has a group of duos, a group of pairs, and does each one separately. And then she puts those winners up against each other. Like, it's not the same as what she ever described Choosy. It's instant death, not bracket. Thank you, Ratbat. I love efficiency of language. Tip Tap says she played like a bracket. Exactly. It wasn't Choosy. It just wasn't Choosy. So, someone says, are we supposed to take the last person who won and put them against the next person? And she just kind of ignored that one. I thought, she's going to trip out, but she kind of ignored that one. Then she gets back. I wrote she plays Choosy wrong and then takes a break after. She went for 30. Like, I tuned out, guys. I've never seen anything more fucking boring. Sitting there looking at a poll of two random. Okay, and it wasn't even like too, it was just so fucking random. Like it might be Taylor Swift versus Betty White. Like it was just random. It was so stupid. And then she took a break and got on her phone and started texting some more. And then out of the blue, Lucy, thank you for the super chat. Lucy says, I put 2 choosy polls and tagged you in the server. I see okay, I see the tag. I'll check it out after. Then people start in this little break time. People are asking her random questions. She just randomly says how much we would have really liked Feline if Feline would have allowed us to see her on camera. Somebody asks her about the about Destiny's 21st birthday photo shoot. Do you remember that super cringy, stupid photo shoot that they did? It was crazy, all right? It was super ass cringy, but you know what? If they had fun, then who fucking cares? If I think it's cringy, it doesn't really matter. But it was cringy. So they ask her, what did you think about that? And she says, no, that was just really weird. I was uncomfortable. It was really weird. And I thought, oh, girl, you didn't think it was weird. We've seen the video. You loved that day. You wanted to get in the pictures. What are you talking about? Narc, rewriting history, right? You guys have seen those videos, right? Destiny's 21st birthday? If not, we can watch it as a retro on Saturday because she dug it. She was into it. I think she was jealous it wasn't about her. But now she's denouncing it as being weird. And then she says, oh, she was feeling really edgy. She was feeling really upset and very angry, but now she's played choosy and it's calmed her down. God, you know, the therapeutic value of choosy can never be overestimated. It really can't. Look, she's fine now. She gives some advice to some swollen member in chat. Somebody says, I guess they're swollen from water weight, and so she gives them a bunch of advice. Yeah, we haven't watched the Destiny era in a long time. That might be a fun one to watch on Saturday, right? They ask her which era, if you could return to an era, what era would you return to? And she says she doesn't want to answer it. And then someone in the chat writes Tommy. And she scrolls over to it and goes, you got it. This I thought was an interesting question because I felt the vibe as well. Somebody says, when Destiny was doing the live stream where you phoned in, did you kind of miss Destiny after that? Because partway through the call, the vibe kind of shifted and it just sounded like a couple of old friends chatting. And it's funny because I felt that vibe too on that video, that they just seemed so comfortable with each other, like a pair of old friends talking, really, you know, once the animosity had broken a bit. Excuse me. And she says no, of course. And then she goes on to say, this was really weird. When she's talking about Destiny, she says, yeah, they had a lot of fun because they were really more like brother and sister. What? That was her most overtly sexual relationship. And now she's saying they were like brother and sister? That was weird. I thought that was really weird, like calling death. And then she said, no, giggle, giggle, giggle. She was the brother. Okay, even if we can think that was a brother-sister relationship, Destiny would have been the brother. Yeah, she said they were more like brother and sister. Now, you know, she might be able to defend that and say she meant afterwards, but she didn't clarify that. She just said they were like brother and sister. She could have meant that after the breakup, like that in that phone call moment. I don't know. Interpret that as you will. Now she says, ew, like, ew, she could never imagine being with Destiny. It's disgusting and gross and all that. And then she says, somebody says, oh, and then she gets really excited because at the suggestion that her and Destiny could replace Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas as the new frenemies. She just really wants to do a podcast. I tell you, she really wants a podcast. And then she says she's so glad that they broke up. And then she tells this weird story, and again, it's hard, guys. You tune in and out because she's so fucking boring when she's being like this. She tells a weird story about her father giving her a baseball hat, and she wore it backwards. And her brothers were really mean to her and called her a lesbo because she wore the hat backwards. I don't remember the point of that story. I guess there might have been one, but I don't know. Hey, Gina Marie, nice to see you here. Magma Fest said, what did I just walk into? Yeah, a little recap of the Amber's live stream. Amber's members only live stream recap, and we're about halfway through. Maybe a little bit more, don't worry. So after this little break in chit chat, she says, okay, oh my God, you guys, we have to finish Choosy. And we're like, what? You mean we're not done? We have to do that again? And I thought, this is why her partners felt stuck. Her phrasing, we have to finish Choosy. I guess I was getting fed up. I can always tell when I start writing in all capitals. But she put up one, and I guess it was Billie. I don't remember because I wrote Billie Eyelash question. So I guess it was Billie Eilish against somebody else that she liked, and she was squealing and screeching with delight at this poll where people had to choose between Billie Eilish and somebody else. Like screeching and screaming, oh my God! It's so hecticana. It's like a wrestling match. I can't wait. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like she was pissing her pants watching the poll. Oh my God, it's very that coded, like a wrestling match. Like a wrestling match. She was like really fucking excited. I know. I thought, Penne, I said it in my head 100 times last night. We now really know what being Beck must have felt like. It was torture. It was fucking torture. Now, again, Beck had 2 legs and free will. Even if medicated, I would have gotten up and left that scene. I'm sorry. Then she puts up the next question and she starts including herself in the questions of which celebrity you prefer. So because this is the second round, she's putting up 3 against each other because she knows people are getting pissed fucking off, all right? Pissed off. Oh, before she went back to Choosy, when she took that little break, she was on her phone, of course, and she gets this. This is $9.99. Amber, please stop looking at your phone. Like people were getting, and again, notice a different username, not the same username. Another username, Chillery Clinton says, I see why Beck hated this. Like people were not enjoying this nightmare. Someone else here says, Catnip says, okay, this is not fun. It's okay for a few minutes, but this has been going on for over an hour. Like people are pissed off. Lucy says, the ones with her name are what I posted in the server. Right. Okay. Please don't ever play Choosy on a live again. This has been so boring. Oh, and that's the next one, so we'll save that one. Yeah, it was over an hour. She went 30 minutes and she took a break and she went back to it. So in the last one, when she put 3, she put herself up against 2 huge celebrities, and she's giggling and giggling because she's winning the poll. It's like, yeah, bitch, it's your live stream. They're paying, And then it's like, she goes, okay, well, I'm going to take myself out because, I'm just going to win every poll because you guys are so nice to me. So she finally takes her name out of the celebrity Choosy, and it carries on. She's pissed. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So it comes down. Is it over yet? Almost. Comes down to almost the end. We're getting close to the end of Choosy, and it's Betty White versus Billie Eilish. Because Betty White was cleaning up. Every time she threw Betty White in there, Betty White would win. So it came down to Betty White versus Billie Eilish. And she was apprehensive about that, right? She was not fucking happy because she knew Billie wasn't going to win against Betty. And how dare they? Do they not understand that she loves Billie Eilish? So she puts them up, and Betty kicks ass, right? So she's not fucking happy. And then she starts timing out people and blocking a couple people and giggling while she does it and singing. This makes me feel so powerful. I love doing this. Not exaggerating. That's what she does. So she puts up the final question. And as you know, we cannot see in a live member stream. We can't see how many people are watching. We can see the chat, the active members chat. But the theory being, of course, in Amber's members stream, she's got 560 paid members who never chat. And then she's got about 40 to 60 that do chat, right? So if you believe she has 600 members, she's got about 550 that are always silent. We always look, it hovers between 30 and 60 members in the chat. Again, that's not a definitive proof of, maybe she does have 500 silent watchers. Could be. We don't know. But she's got 40 to 60 in the chat. But the one thing that happens when you run a poll, you can see how many people vote. Now, so that's a reasonable accurate. No, it's not accurate, but it's a reasonable vague. Anyway, she's getting like 60 votes, 60, 62, 65 votes on all the polls. And she puts one up. Oh, I guess it was the Billie versus Betty one that she really wanted Billie to win. And she leaves it there because, Billie's not winning. And she keeps saying, I just want it to get to 70 votes. Once it gets to 70 votes, then we'll call it, right? She reminds me of Captain Daly from Black Mirror. Thank you, Penny. So she's leaving it. It doesn't hit. It's not hitting 70. So I don't think she had 70 people. Because honestly, even if you're not active in the chat, you click on a poll. Usually. Especially if the creator's begging you to do it. And you're sitting there. Why wouldn't you? So, I don't believe she has more than maybe 100 members. But we'll never know. She had to call it at 66. She never did hit 70. So she was very upset about that. But then she ran a poll and asked her audience if they'd like to play Choosy again. And 63% said yes. Look at my note. For fuck's sakes. For fuck's sakes. Play this again. 63 yes. For fuck's sakes. Why? It was painful. Like, I literally tuned out. Idle chat, ice cream. Gets on the phone. Oh, she literally kind of just tunes right out. Just picks up her phone. And she says, hey, can you guys give me like a low-calorie snack idea? I'm just doing my groceries. And that's when somebody says this. Can we ever get 2 hours of your full attention? Grocery list? Seriously? They were not fucking happy. Oh, healthy food ideas. She was asking for any healthy food ideas because she needed help. And then she gets angry and says, this is what you're paying for. It's her live stream. It's her life. You're just paying to see her life. And if she wants to fold towels or do her laundry or clean the fridge, or that's just what you're going to see on her live streams. And that's what you're paying for, right? Chat wasn't having it. They were not happy. People are paying to interact with you, not to watch you fold your laundry. And then someone else said, love how she skips over the chats that call her out. You're getting paid for this. And again, look at 2 more new usernames. This is not the same person over and over again. Every one of these has been a brand new username. I think that's very telling. It's one thing if you have 2 or 3 people. Like I firmly believe that, you can have 4 people that make up a hater community and bark loud enough to get attention. But this is not that. This is every member of her chat. It's kind of a lot, right? Kind of a lot. And then it just devolves into we're closing in here. Oh no, she got pissy right at the end there. It devolves into food chat. I feel like it's gonna end soon. She's like, I wrote, we hate the way she talks now. We hate the way people ask her about Tana, and she says, Tana's okay, but it doesn't even matter. She can do whatever she wants because she's a skinny, pretty bitch. So she can do whatever she wants. She'll never get canceled because she's skinny. So she still has that stupid mindset, right? Oh, and then, then she does this. I wrote down, stares like a dog at the door. We got one of these. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Fuck. Stupid. Yeah, you're really deep. We get it. And I wrote, she's thinking about her. Oh no, she said she's thinking about her groceries. Again. Oh, and then she got pissy about that, getting called out on that. And she goes, okay, fine, you have my full attention. Like she's fucking pissy at people that are paying her $10 a month. And then she's getting, of course, not happy because she's getting this. Good night. This has been the most boring live ever. Please do not repeat any of this next week. Her chat people were not fucking happy with her. She's so checked out. She hates her job. Do you promise next live will be better? Because I'm going to cancel if the lives are like this. And then there's that's the last one, but there was one more I caught that somebody else said I already did cancel. Like they're not happy. And that was without her being reactive to, I'm sorry, Amber, you know what? That's what they want to see, okay? What they want to see is you reacting to things. They might tell you we're your supporters and we want you to focus on us, but what they want you to do is spill tea with them. They don't want to play choosy. They don't want to do any of this wholesome little games. And, it's just not, it's so stupid, man. So she's pissed off. Actually, oh yeah, she was so fucking rude when people were saying, give us your attention. This is what we pay for. What are you doing? Thinking about you, lost in space, thinking about your goddamn groceries, right? And that's when she said, okay, fine, you've got my full attention. I wouldn't want you to get scared because I looked away. Oh, Mom, I'm so scared. She wasn't looking at us for a minute. She literally did that to her audience because they asked her to pay attention. Wow. She was so fucking rude. And then she said, I'm not being called out. Like she got all pissy about it. I'm not being called out. I'm just fidgety. And we were really hoping at this point she was going to rage quit because she felt like she was right on the edge of rage quitting. Lucy, it's interesting when you make notes. I wouldn't have remembered half of this shit. I have to make note. Well, if making notes while we go, you catch little things. Hey, clapping for chlamydia is here. Hey, clapping, nice to see you. Always love to see clapping for chlamydia. So we were hoping she was going to rage quit. Unfortunately, she didn't. She broke out the oracle cards. And she said, wow, talkative cards. And then I wrote, checked out. Oh my God, the oracle card reading was so pathetic. Like she was pissed off with everybody at this point. Pissed off. So she'd be like, okay, Jack. Betrayal. Real Mar. Love. Literally. I'm not exaggerating. Literally what was going on. Literally. And when they accused her of being checked out, she said, no, she's not checked out. I am sick if you don't understand that I am here doing my job even when I'm sick and I've got technically and I'm in I wrote, she seems furious pulling cards and she won't stop texting. Oh, yeah, she'd pull a card and then she'd get on her phone and then she'd pull a card. I wrote card text, card text, card text. So that was fun. And then she said, at this point, there's 4 minutes left in the stream. We know she sets an alarm. 4 minutes left in the stream, and she says, oh, you know what? I know that later on I'm going to have an anxiety attack. Thank you, Vex. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Yay, Vex. Listen, she says, I know that later on I'm probably going to have an anxiety attack. I know in advance when they're coming. People with anxiety, is that generally how it works? You got time to hunker down and get ready for it? Maybe if you knew that, you could, take some meds in advance to head it off at the pass. But I didn't think that's how anxiety works. Again, I don't suffer from this. I need you guys to help me. I thought anxiety was something that kind of comes on at the least most inappropriate, unexpected times and fucks with you. Not something that you can plan ahead in your bujo. I think in 4 hours I'm going to have just a little anxiety attack. Maybe a 6 out of 10. Well, no, but that's because you guys aren't special like her, okay? You're not connected. Look at all the no. You guys, you don't understand anxiety the way she does. Can you imagine? And this is how she knows it, okay? Guys, maybe. Oh, it's not feeling it coming. It's hours in advance, though, really. She thought later on. And she knows it's coming because she feels restless in her legs and her head and her heart. And when she feels that kind of restless in her head and her legs and her heart, she knows that in a few hours, she's going to have anxiety. So maybe if you were like as in tune to your bodies as she is, she's special. She's special. It's, again, when you feel restless in your heart, then you know. And then people said, people said to her, well, if you know all this is coming, like if you know you're going to have anxiety, why don't you get on some kind of anxiety meds for anxiety? And she says, no, oh no, I will never do that. I will never take meds for anxiety. She says she goes to the doctor. Someone says go. Oh, this is what set her off. Someone says, girl, why don't you go to the doctor if you're sick, right? And she's all, fuck you. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? She tripped fucking out because somebody told her to go to the doctor. I just told you I have been to the doctor. I have a deadly infection and I'm sitting here fulfilling my obligation to you because I've always done that and I said I always will. And then she started to cry. I just can't. It's just too hard. Okay, I have to go. And then she left. I'll be okay, you guys. And then she left. And scene. It was ridiculous. How could something be both the most boring thing I've ever done and also extremely infuriating? Jeez. Oh, you did miss crying time at the end. It was short and fast. You guys don't understand. She has a deadly disease. She could literally die on camera. But she has to fulfill the obligation. And I thought, yeah, Amber, you know what? That's exactly what it feels like to your audience, that this is nothing but a fucking obligation. And if you feel like your live stream is an obligation and you're not going to be able to shake it off and get into it, then cancel your live stream because your audience deserves better than that. Oftentimes, I don't feel like streaming, and I'm sure every streamer will say the same thing, but you get online You put on the camera and your chat energizes you, and all of a sudden it's fun. But, if you're not vibing with it, I would have more respect for her not rage quitting, but saying, you know what, you guys, you're not going to get the best of me tonight. I'm just not the best of me, but I mean, I'm not going to be able to give you the best of what I want to tonight. I'm just not feeling up to it. Can we reschedule this? I'd have more respect for her if she did that, but she won't. Exactly, Dainty Bush. Oh my God, your fucking profile picture. Can we all look at Dainty Bush's profile picture? Like, not even, this is not a political thing. It's just funny. The guy's name is Bush. He's got a pink bowl. Fucking Dainty Bush. That's very funny. You did spell it wrong. It's OBCD. It is. It's very coquette. Very coquette. All right. Let me just fill up our coffee and we'll get going and we'll look in. I'm so anxious to see Weigh In Wednesday. Now, I'm kind of curious because, honestly, there was a story, my thumbnail. There's a story that goes along with her cellulitis that she told last night. And I suppose she will retell it in this weigh-in. So I will try and explain to you my version of what I heard her say last night, and then we'll watch her version today. So she's got cellulitis, guys. She's sick. She's sick. You know how she got it, though? There was some floods, okay? There was some really severe flooding. And when she was returning to her apartment after being evacuated, she had to wade through flood water. And that caused her cellulitis. That caused the infection. So once again, not her fault. She had to wade. You hearing this? She had to wade through flood water to get back into her apartment after being evacuated in this flood. That's scary, right? Right? Now, I could be wrong and people can dig harder, but I did a cursory look at the weather for around Oklahoma City in the last week or so. And yeah, there's some flooding, but it's not in Oklahoma City. And it was 3 days ago. People died, right? It was severe flooding. But I think the city proper is pretty well ready for that sort of stuff. And they don't tend to have flooding in the city, but on the outskirts more. So there was a place 10 miles outside of Oklahoma City where there was severe flooding. Now, the other thing I was thinking is, okay, she stepped in the water and then got the infection and then went to the doctor and got prescriptions. And she said she's on her 4th course or 4th round or such. There was a 4 in there with her medication. Maybe she's taken it 4 days in a row. I don't know. But I thought, no, all of that takes some time, right? Between stepping in the water and the infection actually starting to present itself would take some time. And then getting to the doctor and then getting the prescription and then taking it 4 times. Now, these floods in Oklahoma City were 3 days ago. Do you think that she would get all that stuff done in 3 days? It doesn't sound likely to me. CH says, yeah, I only found it in Moore, Oklahoma. Moore is the place I found. People died. It was bad. But none in the city. Now, the last time there was severe flooding that I saw that was close to her was in August. So not like a week or 10 days ago. So the timeline doesn't really make sense. And also, if she was evacuated from her building for a flood, do you not think she would have mentioned that at any point in the last week? She's literally never mentioned it. And here's my other thought. If you are evacuated because of a flood, do you have to wade through water to return to your unit? Or is at that point when it's safe to return is maybe the water level down by that point? These are things I don't know. These are just things that I question. And I thought I would share those with you. For me, that story has so many holes you could drive a truck through it. But now, let's listen in and see her version, because I think she's going to talk about it here on her way in. So we're going to watch her way in a second. And this is from just a couple of hours ago from today at 1 o'clock, and it's entitled, I Feel So Defeated. Weigh in episode 5. And we know it's because, where is she? I just shared my screen. Share screen. I feel so defeated. Share. There she is, the little doll. There she is, little darling. AMBERLYNN REID. Calling AMBERLYNN REID. Muriel Peterson says, no, the water has all receded. I live in the area. Talking before we've asked you to talk. It's just rude. I found her, Snork. Look, she's right here. Boom. Look. Bless. There she is. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to turn down her resolution a little so we don't run into any problems, because we don't need her, of course, at 1080p. Makes very little difference. Let me move over a little bit. Let me move a little bit. That's better. Let me fix my hair. All right, let's go. Amber, she feels so defeated.
Around to filming this pretty late at night. I already did my live stream and everything. And usually by my Tuesday live stream, I've already had this filmed, edited, and scheduled to go up for the next day. But I'm not feeling the greatest, and I'm going to tell you the reason why in this video. So let's just get straight to it. First, we're going to start off with the 5 questions that I do every weigh-in video. And where I get those is Instagram. So once a week I go on there and I say, ask me any weight, health, food related questions. What makes you say that the eating scenes in 600 Pound Life are exaggerated and not real? So I said that in a past weigh-in video because it's true. I've actually been contacted by multiple people who have been in 600 Pound Life, and I myself have contacted a couple people myself. And I'm also actually pretty good friends with 2 people who have been on shows like that. And they do exaggerate those scenes, especially in 600 Pound Life. And I only know that because people who
narcissistic triangulation. She doesn't know this, but she's got a lot of other people that will back up her opinion. God, she does it all the time. Once you notice it, you notice she does it all the time. Whenever she says something, she's going to tell you there's somebody else with some cachet to back it up. Like, this isn't just another friend feels the same way. These are people who've been on the show. So you can't argue with that, right? They do it all the time.
Who have been on 600 Pound Life have told me that personally. Plus, I am also someone who is over 500 pounds. I was almost 600 pounds at one point. Why do you think people freak out about the size of a 20-piece nugget, but will order a 10-piece with a large fry and act like that is any better? Good point. Good point. I think just like hearing a 20-piece nugget, it's like, whoa, that's crazy. But when you do the calories for a 20-piece nugget versus like a regular meal that you can get at McDonald's, which is a 10-piece nugget with a large fry, it's about the same calories. There's a little.
It's almost like maybe if you're watching what you eat for health and weight purposes, that you shouldn't eat any pieces of McNuggets.
A little bit more calories in the nugget and fry, but the protein and the carbs are better if you just get the 20-piece nugget. I'm not saying either of these options are good for you, but the same people.
The proteins and the carbs are better. You know, yeah, maybe. Carbs are better? There's no point where... I don't know of any diet that actually wants you to... Oh, I guess there's a starch diet thing that somebody used to talk about all the time. Generally speaking, you don't want to eat a lot of carbs. So the 20-piece... She's saying that the 20-piece nugget is better for you, health-wise, because it's got more protein than a 10-piece nugget and fries. Okay, you following that logic? Okay, let's go. I wonder how she got to 500 pounds. It's just a mystery, really.
Judging someone for ordering a 20-piece nugget will also go to McDonald's and get the nuggets and fries. I think people like to play mind tricks because, like, when you see like sodium, for an example, on nutrition labels. You don't really think about your own sodium consumption. I see so many people telling me, oh my God, AMBERLYNN, like that's so much sodium in that raw.
I was told in culinary school when we were studying nutrition and food science that given the way the North American diet, and probably European is similar, we consume so much salt just in canned and processed things that we eat that we never need to add a single flake of salt to any food we eat ever. Without adding salt to our diet, we get more than enough sodium from the stuff that we eat. Is that still true? I don't know. And of course, that depends on your individual diet. But generally speaking, you know, eat a couple cans of soup. You don't need to add salt to anything for the rest of your day.
Ramen that you're eating, blah, blah, blah. But the same people will make rice-a-roni for them and their family, not realizing that that also has a lot of sodium. Or even just like a can of corn, they add sodium to these things. Everything has sodium.
You're right,
Americans just eat a lot of sodium without even realizing it.
That doesn't make it okay, though, and it doesn't make it healthy. All that means is you got to be more cognizant of what you're eating, because the prepared and processed foods contain such elevated levels of sodium. That doesn't mean that makes it okay. Oh, everybody else does it. It's fine. All the Americans do it.
Have you thought about asking ChatGPT how many calories you should eat to lose weight? So I never thought about it. So I decided to do it. And when I did do it, it prompted me. It was like, can you tell me a bit about yourself? Can you tell me like age, weight, height, any medical things that could be wrong with you?
Of course she's
and
done
I
it
like that
already.
aspect, because like when you try to do these like metabolic rate things online, it literally just asks for your height, your gender, and your weight. And it's like, no, there's more to it. So I thought that was cool. That
Mr. Snork says, you can add 5 Mrs. Dashes, though. Well, yeah, there's no sodium in Mrs. Dash. And she doesn't fuck with Mrs. Dash anymore, unfortunately. Sadly, Mrs. Dash has left the building.
ChatGPT actually asked for that.
Straight
So
out of the
here's the
building.
screenshot. And as you can see, ChatGPT thinks that I should eat anywhere between 2,200 and 2,400, which is something I've always said.
Why are you using AI content as part of your video? This is stupid. It's ChatGPT. Who fucking cares? Go to a weight loss doctor, Amber.
And it literally shows the reason why.
Oh, interesting. Mr. Snork says, I tried it, and ChatGPT did not ask me for any health information. Interesting.
Why I should be eating at this lower limit, such as weight loss is slower for me due to the lipedema and the lymphedema, and how that fluid retention shows up on the scale a lot, which I've also said to you guys. Pretty much everything that ChatGPT says in the screenshot is exactly what I've said. Like how my metabolism is a lot slower due to hysterectomy. It's also slower due to me having no estrogen in my body, slower because I went through menopause.
Hush, hush, hush. We gotta celebrate somebody here. Ali Ballybee. Ali Ballybee. That's a nice name. Ali Ballybee says, I'm on a diet and eat 1,400 calories and take Mounjaro. In 11 months, I've lost 5 stone. You guys, that is like 60 pounds. And I've been morbidly obese for over 20 years. If you reduce calories, you lose weight. It's really simple. Ali Ballybee, congratulations. That must feel so fucking good, man. I know when I lost 20, I felt like a new woman. I felt like I could feel my core again. Like, I can't imagine losing 60 must feel so good. Congratulations to you. That's amazing.
And it's slower because of the years of yo-yo dieting. If you continue to like make your calories super low, lower than they need to be, that'll continue to mess with your metabolic rate. And then I got curious because there's lovely rumors always floating around that I should be eating like 10,000 calories a day to maintain my weight. That is wild and so off base and untrue. Like I know that like already, like as a person that that's not true, but I was
we are the community. We live in the community. We are the community. I've never seen anybody say she needs to eat 10,000 calories a day to maintain her weight. I generally see somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 is the number that I see over and over again of what she would have to eat to maintain. I've never seen anybody ever say 10,000 calories. Ella says some people say insane numbers.
was like, you know what? ChatGPT isn't
There's always going to be people that say stupid shit, but in general, the community, the numbers that come up over and over again seems to be in that area.
ever been wrong for me. So I'm curious. I was like, ChatGPT, how many calories do I need for myself to maintain the weight that I'm at. ChatGPT confirms
3,600.
the misconceptions are not real. I need between 3,200 to 3,400, which is actually really easy for me. Like eating that is very easy.
Okay, but you don't want to maintain, you stupid bitch. You want to lose weight. Oh my God, it would be so easy for me to maintain a 1/4 ton. This is not the flex you think it is.
For someone my size. And it's actually pretty easy to
Also, she's using ChatGPT for medical and health advice, which I strongly advise you not to do. I like ChatGPT. I think it's a great tool. I'll do things like give me 20 titles for this video, and then I'll go through and I'll say, oh, I like that one, but I'll change it a little bit. Like it's a tool that you can use for inspiration, for outlines of things. You don't go to, it's not a medical doctor. Don't go to ChatGPT for health and medical advice. This is dangerous, what she's doing.
to do without even realizing it. And for some reason, people just don't want to believe that. I don't understand why. But like, I'm living proof because I am my person. I am like in my body, I am me. And I'm just sharing that based on my experiences. How often do you grocery shop? So I'll either go every week or bi-weekly. So sometimes I'll skip a week, but definitely only once a week.
It depends when her mom goes. Sometimes mom's too busy to go every week, but when mom goes every week, then she goes every, right? If she go, like, I guess she does. She does go.
Is your new friend a caretaker because you are so big? Y'all, the goalpost has absolutely moved. Like, it's ridiculous. So at first I would talk about my friend in my videos and people would be like, oh my God, she's imaginary. Or, oh my God, like AMBERLYNN's making up this friend. And now that you guys have heard her voice in my videos, the goalpost has moved and now it's a caretaker.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
stop
think
with the fat phobia. I understand that.
I think it's a friend of her mom's, to be honest. And Amber's just always there, so she can claim it's her friend too. That's what I think. But, you know, maybe it is a friend. Stranger things have happened, I guess.
I'm really large, but I live by myself. No one comes in my apartment. Like, not even my mom. Every time we hang out, we're always hanging out like outside of my apartment, going and doing things.
Well, we know there's no caretaker there now because we've seen your apartment. It's filthy. It's undecorated. It's just, there's nobody there but you, obviously.
And spending time out. I don't need a caretaker. I don't need anyone to help me with anything. Yes, I don't drive. I'm fully aware. But when it comes to the things that people are assuming due to the fact.
You're right, Val. Her mom is more social. Her mom is like me, probably. She talks to everybody. It happens when you get old. No, not necessarily. Tim doesn't do that. Jennifer doesn't do that. Not all of my friends do this. But yeah, Mama Lynn does this. I think she talks to everybody. She's just a friendly, affable sort of person. She's more likely to make a friend with a stranger at bingo than Amber is.
Fat shaming, I don't need anyone. I take care of everything myself. I do not have a caretaker, and I have never had a caretaker, and I will never have a caretaker. My friend is my friend because it is someone that I met in person, and I realized I clicked with. I enjoy being around her, and vice versa. We laugh, we have fun, we share the same hobbies, like literally just a friend. And this is like also another reason why my friends or anyone in my life will never be on camera again. Yes, you'll see my mom here and there, but that is it. Because all you've heard is a voice, and already the rumors are starting. All right, so let's get into the goals that I had for last week, and did I succeed in those? So last week, my goal was to follow a meal plan.
Oh my God, you guys, do you think that did she succeed in her goals? Oh my God, I'm just in suspense. I will never know. Of course she's going to tell us she succeeded in all her goals. She always does.
And for 5 days out of 7, and I did not do that. I wanted to have like a huge veggie plate every single day.
See, Rainbow Road, you have to understand languaging is very important to AMBERLYNN Reid. She did not have a caretaker. She had a girlfriend who was doing what a loving partner would do. You just got to put a different frame around it, you see.
And I did not succeed in all 5 days. So my goals for the next week are literally just to win over this like defeat that I feel inside of me.
That's
right
a goal.
now. I literally just feel,
again, like I've always said every week, a goal is a measurable thing. The difference between a goal and a dream is a timeline. Saying, I just want to feel better is not a goal.
That defeat feeling.
Not attainable.
I am having emotions that I feel right before I give up. I want to beat the feeling more times than I don't. And then I also want to start drinking 3 water bottles a day instead of just 2. All right, so now let's talk about how my week went. So I was doing pretty decent. I was staying below the 3,400 calories that Noom wants me to eat. I was definitely eating in moderation. So I was allowing myself to have like the unhealthy things, but also inviting a bunch of like fruits and vegetables and healthier foods into my diet. There was one day.
Did she just invite the foods into her? Amber invited the fruits and the vegetables. I'm inviting them in. Hey, grapes, come on into my diet. You know, I'm still eating shit, but I invited a grape.
Where I overate and I chose like the most horrific foods that day because, like I said, we're not perfect over here. Like, if I woke up one day and I came on here and I was like, you guys, I've been perfect for a full year, it'd be bullshit because it's not possible. So this is where things get hecticana. A few days ago, I mean, I'm telling you, it was
here we go.
Really bad.
Here we go.
It was flooding. There was flood.
Here we go. The flood story a few days ago. And this is Wednesday, right? Oh, but we don't know. She weighs herself in Tuesday. So is this yesterday she's filming this? Yes, because it's the same outfit as the live. Yes. So this is being filmed yesterday. Let's remember that for our timelines. Yo, mama just gave me a shout out for not dismissing Dakota? Yo, mama? Fuck, yo, mama fucking hates me. Yo, mama is one of the people who called me old and ugly, said I looked like a man, made fun of my hair. Okay, whatever.
That means
fucking weird really, community.
Really and I was out with my mom, and I didn't realize when I got home that the flood was going to be near me. So to get into my apartment, which was literally the only way to get into my apartment, I had to step and walk in water that literally like went up to the middle of my calf. I was pissed about it, obviously.
So yeah, this is exactly as I suspected. She was evacuated, but when she came back, the water was mid-calf. That's interesting. I'm surprised even for insurance purposes that a building would allow them to be traipsing through water that high. Because, you know, if somebody falls, you could get sued. So usually buildings are really careful about that sort of thing. Interesting how this happened.
Like, I have lymphedema and lipedema, and my skin and my body is just really sensitive to things. So I was soaking wet. My pants were soaking wet. My legs were soaking wet. My shoes were soaking wet. Came home. I showered. I sadly woke up the next day with cellulitis. So there's two versions of cellulitis.
Again, I don't know anything about cellulitis, so it's really hard for me to speak about this thing. Can you truly get it that easily just by stepping in some water? Dainty Bush says, I can't believe I've stayed in the community long enough to learn that the great flood myth of AMBERLYNN. Remember? Oh, yes. Dainty Bush, do you remember the year of the great flood? No footage, no mention of it happening. No mention of it at all until after the fact. No mention of it. Jess says if you have an open cut or sore. Okay, and that's fair. She does pick at stuff, so she was likely to have an open cut or sore. So it's not unlikely that she could have picked it up that quickly. We'll give her that. But my problem is I don't think her building I don't believe a building is going to let tenants traipse around in knee-deep water. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. So either that water wasn't that deep, so it really wasn't the cause of her cellulitis. I don't know. The story doesn't make sense to me at all.
There is version 1 where I get all of like the physical leg symptoms. Red, painful.
Kelly says she's lying, the flood Lynn did. Well, that's the other thing is we've looked it up. There was no floods in Oklahoma City proper. So there's also that. Unless there's some secret Oklahomian newspaper that I don't have access to because I'm geo-blocked because I'm Canadian and I've missed it. I don't know, but I spent about a half an hour looking at the damn weather in Oklahoma City last night.
Full Like you can tell there's like a massive infection. But then I also get the shivers and I
Oh,
get
coffee
103
time.
temperature. I am puking profusely.
Ouch.
TMI, I have diarrhea. I can't eat for days on end. And I lose a bunch of weight doing that. Or there's B. I still get the leg is red. The leg is painful. You can tell that there is an infection. And I really just feel general malaise.
CH says, well, like I had that hole in my foot and I had to walk through floodwaters and didn't get cellulitis. I believe you. But I also believe that you're probably a healthier person than AMBERLYNN Reid, and maybe her remember, her lymphatic system isn't flooding. Her lymph system isn't flooding properly. I'm thinking she's probably not that healthy. She's probably more susceptible to things than most people are. Would be my guess. Also,
Like,
you're CH, you're a badass. What? That's not going to happen to you.
I don't have any of those other puking fever symptoms. That's where I'm at here. In both of these areas, A and B, I swell a lot. Obviously, it's a really bad infection. So I got cellulitis from walking in the dirty water from the flood, which is really freaking unfortunate.
So
and a part of me
dramatic.
like knew that was going to happen. That's why I immediately came home and showered. But when you have lipedema and lymphedema, like your lymphatic system does not flow the same. So that already makes it where it's harder to fight.
I said flooding, it's flowing. Her lymphatic system isn't flowing properly. Jen, if Jen Chapman's still here, she's a nurse. She's going to tell you this is the absolute truth. Gospel truth. Anyone with any medical training will tell you it's all about the flow. If she ain't flowing, she ain't going.
Infections. No matter how much you bathe, no matter how much you clean yourself. So when you have lipedema and lymphedema, it also causes poor circulation to your legs, which also is another thing that prevents fighting off infections. Right. But I stepped on the scale and I gained weight because I'm extremely swollen. Like the infection has my leg super fucking swollen and it's uncomfortable and it just sucks. Because when you see my weigh-in, when I show you the screenshot from Noom, you'll see that I was losing weight. And then when I got cellulitis, it's like all of that didn't even matter. I immediately gained in fluid retention from the swelling. Like it sucks. I feel defeated because it's like I know it's not my fault. And
no, of course it's not. No,
I genuinely like.
Listen, it is not Ocean Lynn's fault that she's swollen. She's got the edemas. She had to. Good Lord, my God, you guys, do you not understand what this woman has been through this week? She had to traipse through filthy floodwater. I can only assume she was holding both of her pets above her head, because surely she wouldn't have evacuated without taking the pets, right? So here she was, in fear for her goddamn life, because she knows how dangerous it is to walk through that dirty water, but she had to keep the babies alive. And you're going to make fun of her for gaining weight. You're monsters.
I want to switch things up a bit, and I want to start feeling like motivated and inspired in a different way, because I feel like I've just...
Yeah, how about that? Where the fuck were the pets? If you had to evacuate because of a flood, you would have taken the cat and the dog with you. And I really want to see how you manage taking a cat and a dog outside in a fucking evacuation. I just would really like to see that, Amber.
And this weird lull. I don't know. It could be just the fact that I'm literally fighting an infection. I'm currently on antibiotics. I feel like absolute shit. But let's just get into it. Last week I was 5'17". This week I am 5'21.6". And it's like, this is such a pointless weigh-in because it's not real.
Man, you zipped over that so fast and gave somebody a seizure with the flashing lights already. You went by that so fast.
But let's just get into it. Last week I was 5'17". This week I am 5'21".
This is what this graph doesn't show us anything. It's got no dates on it. It's got no time. I have no idea what these dots are from when. And yeah, okay, the last three are definitely going down, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are going up right before it. Now, I don't have any idea of the timeline here, so we don't know what the hell we're talking about. But
6. And it's like, This is such a pointless weigh-in because it's not real weight. I don't really know what else to say about it. I just want to...
What are we congratulating? I missed it. What are we congratulating Arabella for? Arabella says, good afternoon, everybody. We're putting you up here, Arabella. Arabella's lost 134 pounds. Hit my weight loss goal today at 125. Oh my God, Arabella, congratulations. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Oh, we love a queen that reaches a goal. Oh, that's amazing. And Arabella's thanking Wegovy and weight loss surgery and a dietitian. Yeah, but you did the damn thing. Good for you, girl. That's amazing. That's amazing. What a great way to finish off this shit show.
I want to feel better. I'm just going to keep taking my antibiotics. I'm going to try to be successful in my goals and just continue pushing forward. Anyways, I'm going to go. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. If it wasn't for our alerts, this would have been a terrible video. But you guys are amazing. What a whole bunch of great accomplishments I've seen in the chat today. Nerd Zombie Gama says, I lost 85 pounds, but still feel I need to lose 10. Yeah, but you lost 85? That's amazing, nerd. I mean, I need to lose 10 or I could lose 20. I'll be happy with 10. That's why I'm going hard on the carbs. I'm doing very low, 50 to 100, and I'm trying to stick to really under 100 for sure. I'm trying to stick to 50, but if I go up a little bit, I'm okay. It's hard, but it's worth it. I'm telling you, there was a day, I'm telling you, I mentioned it earlier. There was a day I was walking across the street with a couple of friends. We were going out, and I felt my core, and I thought, wow, that feels neat. I haven't felt that in a long time. There's been a little too much padding. So, yeah, that's such a great feeling. So congratulations to all of you guys. Penny Pasta's recently lost 24. That's amazing, too. You guys are fucking awesome. I've got the best community on YouTube. Nar. Okay, but now I'm hungry, and it's 4 o'clock, and it's almost 4:20. So, you know, I got an appointment. I got to see a man about a joint. At least we got Rio today, and at least he's not auto-focusing. So that's good. Kelly. All right. I'm going to get out of here for now. I won't be doing nothing tomorrow. I'm going to try and film a video about suitcases today. And I guess I'll see you on Friday for the redundancy report. Probably. You know, you got to brace yourself because any one of these days I'm going to start missing a day or two here and there. But what did Coco do? Coco lost 163 pounds? Coco? Holy cow. You guys are amazing. Do you know that in this chat alone, you've lost an entire amber? And that's something to be very proud of. If only we could lose an entire amber. Thank you all for joining me in the very sleepy and meowy Rio at this look at AMBERLYNN Reid's members only livestream recap and her weigh-in Wednesday from today. Until we meet again on Friday, you know the routine. Just be kind. And hasta luego. Bye.